Hello, this is Linda. Today I'm going to give you a presentation for about 20 minutes. So first 8 minutes will be overview of the article, and another 8 minutes will be evaluation, and next 4 minutes will be my reflection. Okay, this is my topic. Do bilingual children possess better phonological awareness? Investigation of Korean monolingual and Korean English bilingual children. This study examined for two things. First, whether there are bilingual advantages in terms of phonological awareness, and second one is whether emergent literacy factors explain their phonological awareness in comparison to monolingual children and bilingual children. In this sentence, emergent literacy means the process of learning literacy from newborn to the elementary 1 and 2 years. Let's look at the theoretical background. Cheney, this person studied for monolingual children, and the studies have found that children's oral proficiency was a significant predictor of PA. And in addition to oral proficiency, Messala explained vocabulary knowledge in particular is a significant predictor for PA. And we have another theoretical background. Like Waggoner, this person explained another factor associated with the PA development is letter name knowledge. And also, these two people emphasized letter name knowledge as well, and it may enable children to manipulate onset and rhymes. So let's look at the method and participant. Since this study is quantitative research, there are participants and experiment. So the participants are divided in two groups. The first group is Korean English bilingual children who attend the English medium kindergarten for 2 years. And another group is Korean monolingual children who attend the Korean medium kindergarten. Here we have the number of participants, and these are the genders. And here we have also ages. 5.1 means 5 years and 1 month. And the bilingual children can carry out conversation and produce extended discourse in English, and none of monolingual children have lived in abroad. These are the differences. And let's look at the method and measures. For the measurement, PA tasks, vocabulary, word and pseudo-word reading, letter name identification was conducted for the test, and they are administered in both English and Korean. For the PA tasks, phoneme awareness testing was done, so both English and Korean initial phoneme matching task was conducted. So the students were asked to point to a picture the same beginning sound as the word they heard for the English test. For Korean, children were asked to point to the picture the word that did not share the same beginning sound among 3 words. So like 곰, 공, 종, like that, right? Rhyme awareness testing was done for PA tasks as well. So students choose the picture that rhymed with the word that was spoken to them for the English. And for Korean, for the test in Korean, rhyme, syllable body awareness was done. So children point to the picture that had a different rhyme among the 3 word choices they heard. Okay, in addition, Korean syllable body awareness test was conducted. Here we have a vocabulary test. For the vocabulary, a P-Boy picture vocabulary task 3 was used for English. So children point to the correct picture among the 4 choices that match to the vocabulary word given. For Korean, modification of PPVT3 was used. Modification of PPVT is this. So 65 target words translated into Korean, and there was no overlap between the English and Korean vocabulary. So is it correct answer given 1 point. And let's look at the word and pseudo word reading. For English, Woodcock Reading Mastery Test revised version was used for the test, so children were shown one word at a time and were told to sound out the word aloud. So 50 items for word reading, 40 for pseudo word reading. For Korean, 60 common words selected from Korean language art textbook were used, so 50 pseudo word reading task was done. So this one is the condition. Both set of tests terminated when they make 5 errors. Okay? This one is the last one. Letter identification test for English uppercase alphabet and lowercase alphabet test. Process assessment of the learners was used for. For Korean, 40 Korean letters were arranged in random order, like 14 consonant, 5 double consonant, 10 vowels, 11 complex vowels. So here we have a procedure. So first, children were tested twice separately for English and Korean tasks at a 2 weeks interval. And each child tested individually, and each session lasted about 30 minutes. And the monolingual children were not tested on the English word and pseudo word reading task. Here we have result. This table 2 explained the comparison of Korean PA and emergent literacy skills between the monolingual and the bilingual children. So in this context, the Korean PA stands for this 4 test. Korean syllable, body, coda, phoneme, rhyme awareness, and the emergent literacy skill explained this 3 part. Letter ID, word reading, and pseudo word reading. So as you can see, the bilingual children performed much better at Korean PA tasks. So you can see the star here. People who take statistics class, they know what that means, right? This means the bilingual children significantly performed better at this test. And the interesting thing in this table is that let's look at the Korean word ID and Korean word reading test. The both students performed better, right? However, for Korean pseudo word reading, the bilingual children performed much better. So here we have another star. So this is the result of Korean PA, a comparison of Korean PA and the emergent literacy skills. Let's look at the English PA and emergent literacy skills. Not surprisingly, these tests are our English tests, so bilingual children performed a lot better at this task. So here we have all 3 stars, which means they performed significantly better. So let's look at the discussion and conclusion. This study findings indicated that bilingual children had superior PA in both Korean and English compared to the monolingual children. And the second one is emergent literacy factors differently contributed to monolingual and bilingual children's PA in each language. However, bilingual children's emergent literacy skills did not show any explanatory power for their Korean or English PA. So these are the results. So far I explained the review of the article. So let's move on to evaluation of the study. This article was published on the Journal of Reading and Writing. And let's look at the impact index. This one is the number. And compared to TESOL journal, TESOL journal has almost 2 point, right? 1.947. So, as Professor Kim explained, in this area, the impact index is usually 1 and 2. If it goes up to 3 to 4, that is very highly evaluated journal, right? So, based on Professor Kim's explanation, this article was published in quite a reliable journal. And also this article has 11 citations, which means not many, right? However, I think however, the reason I think is that there are many bilingual researches like English Spanish or English French or English Chinese, but not many for Korean English. That's why it has sort of limited citation. And let's move on to quality of method. I think this research were able to present the significant difference through appropriate measurable method. So first, the number of participants were enough to be measured for quantitative research. The number are 126 students, so which is good enough. And 7 measure method was conducted for PA and emergent literacy in both language, Korean and English, which means she did like 14 tests, right? 7 each. So, as you can see, many research did like 3 or 2 measure method, usually less than 4, right? But she made extra effort to find the appropriate implication and conclusion. So this research is quite good, I thought. And the researcher used the MANOVA multivariate analysis of variance. Was conducted to compare the two groups. So MANOVA is an expansion version of ANOVA. So since there are like many variables, she used MANOVA analysis, which is very appropriate, right? And another good thing in this research is that the researcher used a certain standardization test for vocabulary and reading tests, such as P-Boy picture vocabulary task and Woodcock reading mastery task revised. So it's also good, I think. Alright, let's move on to the limitation of this study. There is one limitation of this study, is that it did not include other important factors, such as family literacy practice, shared reading experiences at home, and parents' literacy support. That has been found to be significant predictors for PA in other studies. However, I think the research cannot include all the factors, right? Except this, she made like extra effort and appropriate measure method. So I think, except this limitation, this research is quite good. Okay, let's move on to clarity of the content and conclusion. Since this study is Korean monolingual, the comparison between Korean monolingual students and Korean English bilingual students, the content and conclusion is quite clear. Like the first research question was, do they have advantages in PA? So the answer was quite clear. Yes, right? And the second question was that do bilingual children's emergent literacy skill effect for their Korean or English PA? Actually, there is. However, the effect did not show any explanatory power, so the answer would be no. So, based on this explanation, the content and conclusion of this article is quite clear. Alright, let's look at the substantive of the article. Korean and English, they both are alphabetic language, right? However, Korean is written in block. Each block represents a syllable, unlike English. So let's look at the word 곰. 곰 are not string of three phonemes. 그, 오, right? So due to these unique characteristics of Korean phonology and orthography, Korean English bilingual children who are exposed to both languages might display patterns of PA development different from other bilingual children. So as I mentioned earlier in this presentation, there are many researches related with English, French bilinguals, English, Spanish, or English, Chinese. However, there are not many Korean and English. So I think the reason is that because of uniqueness of Hangul. So so in terms of this, I think this article is quite substantial. Right. Let's move on to the next question. This is the last one. How I would use key points of the study in my EFL phonics teaching context. So actually, since this study is like comparison between monolingual and the bilingual, it was very hard to find the point that I could apply in my EFL phonics teaching context. So I twisted this question to like, what age should our kids start learning a foreign language? Because the subject of this research were quite young, like their age was like 4 to 5 to 6, right? So I made this question, and the answer is like that. Teaching English in early age is quite controversial, right? So a great deal of time, effort, and money has been spent on researching this very controversial question. But actually there are some researches was done and they indicated that teaching EFL should be performed after a solid foundation of a mother tongue. There is a benefit. However, in my opinion, and what I think is that the result is inconclusive because it's almost impossible to separate the age of students from other relevant factors such as the learning environment, motivation, and the teaching quality, or like the kids' personality or maternal level of education and their incomes. Like there are many variables. So it's very hard to find a certain solution. But I think the person who can speak English in their early age, I guess they have one room in their brain that can perform English, and which is very good for the cognitive development. So I think I could apply this to my research as well, which is related to cognitive development and early literacy. So for me, this article was quite meaningful. Alright, so my presentation was done so far, and thanks for the listening my presentation. Alright, bye guys.